Hello traders, this is Blake Morrow and you are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. I hope everybody's having a great trading session. Let me turn down my volume here on my external speakers. So we have seen a snapback rally in equities. Equities were, down a little earlier. They've come back to just above break even. I'm watching the dollar Mexican peso pretty closely as I'm long. I scaled out of some at 22.85 or 86 up here, and then I've been adding back down here in the 70s. I still think it looks really bullish for those of you that know or don't know why I'm long. You can see the reasons why. You know how I'm actually looking at this chart. Let me do some quick work for you. Yes, it would look something like this. All right. So, and I'll come back to that. 786. And then, 161% extension. Maybe, well, first of all, we got to go to 127% extension, which would be here at 2380. And then 161% extension would be up here. Roughly. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it right now, something like this. It's and even you could probably even do it like this too if you really wanted to, like this being a 50% retracement, right? 50% retracement, 161% extension, 786, something that looks like that. Okay. I think that's doable over time. It's not, obviously we're not going up there now, and it's not going to be something that, we see tomorrow, but it is something that I'll be trading the dollar Mexican peso on the long side for, unless something changes, for the foreseeable future. When I say foreseeable future, probably for the next, oh gosh, sorry, I didn't mean to yawn on you guys. Probably for the next, 2 to 6 weeks, looking for something as we trade above 2350, maybe even a little bit further than that. But that's kind of how I'm viewing it right now. Obviously, when you look at the pattern in play, I'm initially looking for 2350, which is basically this previous support here. But that's not saying that we can't go past that. We can definitely go past that depending on what's happening at the time. If as a ForexAnalytix subscriber, you probably noticed that I pulled off the pound dollar short. Why? Well, we got to the 38% retracement, or really close to 38% retracement. Remember, I don't know if you were with me yesterday. I was talking about, possible flag. I still think this is doable. I'm not saying that, I think right now is the, perfect time to be long. But I think that's a risk. And so that's why when we were down below 130, I pulled the pattern in play off. I actually shorted some cable a little earlier. It's right here at 62. Actually, I think is where I got short. Or is it 52? No, I shorted at 52, and then I closed it at like 40 or 39. And then, but I think the cable could be a short right where we're currently at. I'm just not short it right at this moment in time. Okay, doing some other things. My focus is elsewhere. Let's talk about the S&P really quick. So the S&P, we were coming under pressure, and I think the market got a little short there at the highs earlier this morning. And of course we squeezed, back up towards the, 127% extension where I ultimately think we're going. But the bulls are still very much in control. It's amazing when you look at these explosions that are happening in Beirut. And by the way, they're saying that it was a fireworks. Something went wrong with fireworks. That is a mushroom explosion. Mushroom explosion that looked more like a nuclear explosion. That was something that was actually dropped. I know there was a fire before then, so probably had to have been something on the ground. But that is no fireworks explosion. That was massive. Guys go on social media and news outlets to go see what those look like. Or what the explosion looked like. It was crazy. But if you look at the S&P, the S&P actually started coming off a little bit, after the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, said that they're not, they don't see a deal this week. Stocks came off a little bit. It had nothing to do with the explosion, which is just crazy, what's happening in Beirut. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the currencies really quick. The Euros had a nice bounce back. I still think we're trying to build this head and shoulder pattern. Okay, but that means that 118 is key resistance, 117 is key support, and we happen to be bouncing around. Would I sell a rally in the euro dollar at this point? Yes, I would. I would sell it, still 118.15, 118.20 if I could get it. But if this head and shoulder pattern is going to actually work, we probably got a couple more days before we break the neckline. Now, keeping in mind that it is non-farm payroll on Friday, maybe it's the jobs report that actually pushes us out of this range that we're seeing here right now. Okay, we talked about the cable. The Aussie still holding the 70 level. It's been a little choppy here today. The Kiwi found support once again below 66 cents, which, if you guys remember, key support right now in the Kiwi is 65.80. I think we got down to 65.90, 89, before bouncing. But the Kiwi is actually trading pretty heavy. Dollar Canadian. Keep an eye on the dollar Canadian. I tweeted. I sent this out for you guys earlier via ForexAnalytix. Basic technical analysis, dollar Canadian. Here's the 4-hour chart. This is the last update, right? If the dollar Canadian is going to build an inverted head and shoulder pattern, these levels near the 133.50 level should hold. And we are at 133.50. Now we're at 133.66. I'm long a little bit of dollar Canadian. I'm not comfortable with it, but I am long a little. I can't really get bullish the dollar Canadian until we're back above 134.50, and definitely, once we have to get above here, which is 134.80. But it is building a case for an inverted head and shoulder pattern. One of the reasons why the dollar Canadian is so weak is crude. I mean, crude bounced from 40.20 to basically 41.60. So we had this big bounce in crude. We had a big bounce in equities, and that spurred, some selling a dollar Canadian. But I still think we're holding, pretty good support down here, and trying to build that right shoulder of an inverted head and shoulder pattern. Something to keep an eye on. Like I said about the peso, very, very shallow pullbacks. So I do think we're going higher over time. And the dollar yen, nothing really to do here. It's a very, very sloppy. I mean, this is probably more drawn like that. I just don't know what to do with the dollar yen right now. But I do have to mention gold. Spot gold hit 2,000. And I was telling the guys and gals in the chat room, like, this squeeze that you see here today, it's really, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, it is just a function of anybody who is trying to short gold the last week and a half just got squeezed out. Like, if you own gold, you're not selling it. Why aren't you selling gold right now? Because it's above all-time highs, and it's just holding. I mean, here, I guess we should probably go to like a weekly chart. And we're holding above all-time highs right now. So while we're above 1900, if you own gold, there's no reason to sell it, right? So the people selling it are probably people that were shorting it, thinking, oh, it's overbought, it, can't go up any higher, and they're just getting squeezed. Now, we did hit 2000, so, obviously there's going to be a lot of selling to work through around those levels. It's a big number. It's all-time highs. I mean, you've got it. You're going to have some profit taking there. gonna. But the fact of the matter is we're not pulling back. Gold just rallied to 2,000 and we're just kind of holding below it, chewing through all the offers right now. You know, once we get through 2,000, like let's say we get to 2020, I mean, next thing you know, I mean, we'll probably trade up towards 2,100. So just be really careful if you're out there trying to short gold or silver. I mean, they both look extremely bullish. Silver, just so you know, is at a 38% retracement of this move. We're at a 38% retracement. The 50% retracement takes us to 30. Remember, when we get above 30, that's when yours truly will be visiting the physical gold and silver broker and dishing out some of my silver that I bought down here in the 15.5 level. So I'm going to be selling some of that up there if I can get it. So that's what I'm looking for. Anything else? That's pretty much it. You know, I want to, again, for those of you that are, you know, ForexAnalytix subscribers, which all of you guys listening in are, thank you so much for your support. For those of you that are not, if you're listening to this after the fact, make sure you try out ForexAnalytix. It's only $1 for 10 days and you get the premium version when you try out ForexAnalytix. So make sure you download the mobile app. You guys have a great one. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Ciao.